got Matthew here from Alexander Pedals live at Summer NAMM 2018, 2019, 2020. What year did these pedals come out?
It is the year 2000.
It feels like it sometimes.
Right. Absolutely.
All right, let's start with the Wavelength because the Waveland was a pedal. We sold a lot of them. It was pretty cool, but I think the Wavelength is cooler. What makes the Wavelength cooler than the Waveland?
Cooler might be a strong word. It's a lot more versatile. It's got 6 different effects modes instead of 3.
That's cooler.
I mean, cool's relative, right? So, I mean, what do I know from cool? But it's got 6 effects modes instead of 3. 6 instead of 3. It's got tap tempo. It's got this cool jack on the side, which is cool, which does expression, tap tempo, or MIDI. And the tap switch you connect to it, you can use for other stuff too. So you can use it for preset select, tap tempo, or ramping. It's got the ramp function from the Waveland. So we retain that. We have a more adjustable ramp speed, so you can make the ramp take much longer, much shorter. So everything that the Waveland could do, this can do. But there's about 40 other things that this can do that we could never do before.
Is 40 like a precise number?
I said about.
Yeah, okay. All right, so the modes are upside down for me.
Yeah.
Upside down for you too.
Yeah, but I know them. Yeah. So tremolo, chorus, phaser, flanger, vibe, and filter on the bottom. Didn't even look.
What's your personal fave?
I really like the tremolo. It's deep, throbby. It's got an adjustable waveform. They all do, so you can really dial in how you want the volume to ramp. And then you can also blend the standard tremolo with the harmonic tremolo, so you can have any mix between the two that you want. So I really like the tremolo. But
our colleague Ryan is especially fond of the vibrato.
The vibe, yeah. I did the vibe.
A lot of vibes fall short, but
yeah, well, most of them are too kind of exaggerated sounding. Yeah, so most of the ones that I've played with and I use as references were kind of too phasery. They're too swishy and swirly, and if you listen to the records that we grew up on and love, they're not. They're more like lumpy and throbby. And so I said, well, you know, when I was designing it, I kept going back and back further and further to try to get the lump and the push and the swell rather than the swirl. And I was fairly happy with it. I was okay with it. And then I heard Ryan play it, and I realized that I had already gotten what I wanted. I'm just not a good enough player to get it out of the pedal. So, but he showed me some tips and tricks, and so now I can make the vibe sound good too. So that's been great.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, the Space Race.
So, Space Race, it's a reverb. It does reverby stuff. You guys know what reverb sounds like, right? Wrong, because this sounds like better reverb than the reverb that you know about sounding like. Fact. This reverb pedal has 6 reverb modes. Fact. They're all very cool except the one, but I'm not going to tell you which mode that is. You have to find the not cool mode on your own. Fact. That's an opinion.
All right. What are the modes?
The modes are mod, shimmer, plate, lo-fi, spring, and analog. I had to get an extra finger.
What's your favorite of them?
It kind of depends on what music I'm playing. You know, like if I'm playing some hard up, straight up P&W, then it's obviously shimmer. But if I'm playing roots rock, it's probably spring. If I'm playing what I want to play all the time, it's analog.
Right on, yeah. Analog is a longtime favorite of mine with the multi-taps out.
Yeah,
I'm in love with it.
It's a multi-tap delay, but then we do reverb stuff with it. So it sounds like a delay until you play it a certain way, and then it sounds like a bunch of little reverbs together, and it's a really cool, it's something that you probably haven't heard unless
you're into the FX90.
Yeah, FX45. Yeah.
45?
Yeah, 45.
What's the FX90?
I'd have
not
to.
a product?
No, it probably is. I'd have to look it up though. I don't remember. Yeah. So I like the analog mode a lot. They're all really good. The cool thing about it is that if you like the analog mode, but you maybe don't use it all the time, you can dial it in the way you want it and save it as a preset, and then you can go change the preset to something else that you use, and then if you ever want to come back to that analog sound that you discovered, you can just switch over to it and it's right there. So it's cool. So it's like 4 pedals in one. So you just hold the bypass foot switch down and it steps to the next preset. And if you have a MIDI controller, you can plug it in here and you can access up to 16 presets. So it's a pretty cool thing. It sits on your pedal board nicely. It plays well with other pedals. If you have a switching system or MIDI controller, you can plug it into that and get even more out of it. And it's reasonably priced. These are $199. So in terms of like what you get for your $199, just the fact that you get 4 reverbs without having to bend over and I think it was a little more. No, wait, what? Hey, let me get on my phone. I took a picture of it when we tore down. So rather than go through all that, we just put brains in the pedal, so that when you find the sound that you love, you never have to lose it.
What was the hardest mode to create?
Spring. Definitely spring. Everybody knows what spring reverb sounds like, but everybody thinks spring reverb sounds different. So some guys think, oh, spring reverb is this, external tank sound, and some folks think it's, the sound of my combo amp. So what we've done is we've made the reverb knob the spring tank size. So it simulates a really small, like a 2-spring short combo tank, all the way up to a big 3-spring full-size external tank. And then we've got a space control, which controls the dwell. Like on a Fender combo, there's no dwell, it's just mix. That's the only control. But on this one, we give you the dwell, so it's more like a tank, external tank, and it lets you drive the reverb harder or softer and get more or less drip, basically. And then we've got a tone control, so you can sit the reverb in your mix the right way. A little more highs will help bring it out without making it louder. So. Yeah.
And how does the tweak control work through the different modes?
So mod mode, it's the modulation amount and rate. Shimmer mode, it's the shimmer amount and octave. So we let you do a low octave or a high octave. In lo-fi mode, it's the amount of drive of the post reverb distortion effect. In plate mode, it's the damping of the spring. So basically, or damping of the plate. It controls how. So in a plate reverb, there's like a felt piece that touches the plate, and we simulate that. So it rolls off the highs and makes it fade out sooner. In spring mode, it's the tone of the tank, the tone of the spring sound. And in analog, it applies an analog style chorus to the delay line. So you get sort of like a delay and chorus at the same time, but it's also a reverb. It's nuts.
So what should people know every time they buy a Neo pedal? What is the guaranteed feature set of the Neo platform?
It's going to say Neo on it here in this font. Neo series, that's guaranteed. But what we have been putting on them so far, we use this jack here, and we let you use this for MIDI, presets, expression. So that's generally what we go for, is expression, MIDI, presets. So more control over your pedals. That's the whole point.
Right on. It's gotten pretty wild in here, and we're going to let it stay wild. Thanks for showing us the pedals.